फर्क पड़ता है, कोई दिक्कत नहीं, पता नहीं, जो थारी राय सो हमारी राय, nothing to do, nowhere to go, देखो सुनो मत बोलो, wherever, whenever, whatever you are, be 100% कर्नाटक, किसी को आओ मत कहो, किसी को जाओ मत कहो, ना कुछ पाना ना कुछ खोना, who asked you live at zero complaint level, मौज में रहो, be happy.
Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha. Kshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. The small happy mantra mala that I have played is the essence of Vedanta Shastra. There are two things. One is knowledge, and second is practice of that knowledge in our life. Two things. POK, practice of knowledge. Normally, what happens? Intelligent people, I will call them intellectuals. Intellectuals are very naturally, easily attracted towards the thought process of Vedanta Shastra, and it gives them a kick which is normally not available, and then they get lost only in the logic and reason, and then the biggest problem that happens is we want to teach others. Biggest problem. I'll tell you an example. In Mumbai, there used to be a lady used to come regularly for satsang, and she had, I think, 2 or 3 daughters or whatever, and those daughters used to write me, Swami, you please tell mom. She comes from your lecture and she starts boring us, and we have to listen to her, very dictating type, and therefore I have decided I will never listen to Vedanta in my life, because I have seen what is happening. See, so we have to ourselves understand this. Vedanta is not for telling to anybody to anything. Take a simple example. There are two persons. One is a Saudi. Saudi means South Indian. And second is a Bengali. Now, what a Bengali will eat? Rasgulla, Shondesh, Mishti Doi. And what a Saudi will eat? Idli sambar, at the most rice and rasam, what else? And it so happened both of them ate, and something went wrong somewhere, and they vomited. Now, will we say, oh, this Saudi vomit is just rubbish, idli sambar? But Bengali vomit is good, it is rasgulla. No, vomit any kind is useless and disgusting, is it not? Similarly, when we go and give our lectures in our college, see, now these days, the other day somebody asked me, Swamiji, should we make arrangement for PowerPoint presentation when you give your talk? What is a PowerPoint presentation? The one who talks, he doesn't know. So he prepares the notes. and he doesn't have brains to remember it. So he focuses on that. And what is said, that only he reads. And all other dumbos, they also read that. And wonderful. See, I know all these PowerPoint people must be powerfully angry with me. Friends, when the food is digested, it is assimilated, it gives uh, energy for building the tissues, for the physical organs, for the mental power. Everything is supported because matter is nothing but energy. So, when that food is digested, converted into energy, and then you become strong and healthy. But if it is not digested, not assimilated, then it comes out the wrong way. Therefore, it's called a ulti. Ulti means not siddhi. If it goes siddha way, then it's okay, normal. When it comes the wrong way, it is bad. Exactly the same way. When we listen, we study Upanishad or Gita here and then there is a saying, Andho mein kana raja. See, once it happened in Mumbai. It was a wild animal association. You know that? What is that? No, Lions Club. All the lions were sitting, and I was the only human being sitting there. And one lion got up and started talking. Swamiji told me, I have never seen that wild animal in my life. Swamiji told me that mani eva manushanam karanam banda mokshayoho. And all, have you read one very old, wonderful book, The Animal Farm? One of the most beautiful books. So, all people started looking at, all the lions started looking at it. Oh, he studied Gita? See, he's telling in Sanskrit. After everything was over, then I said, hey Maharaj, when did I teach you? He said, no, Swamiji, you don't understand. You have to tell like that. I said, then this verse is from Gita, I never told, and it is not in Gita. It is not in Gita. Huh? Even I don't know. That means his level of ignorance is the authority of wisdom. See, it is not for quoting left and right. Knowledge, when it is digested, it makes a person silent. Yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasa saha. When the knowledge is digested, you become silent. Silent doesn't mean grudgy. What? I don't know. Since I got realized, I am like that. No. You are dynamic. You are cheerful. You are practicing your life with one Maha Mantra. If you remember what we just heard, wherever you are, whenever you are, whatever you are, be 100%. So this is the practice of knowledge. See, if knowledge is not practiced, it is a burden. And then we want to unburden ourselves, is it not? Like you can see all my ammas. You know, Bhagwan Krishna's Leela, he left one Devaki only for 10 years, Jhut Moot. And he got one Yashoda in exchange. I left my Devaki for good. And I got battalion of Yashodas around. See, then one Yashoda, how much she tortured Bhagwan Krishna as a child. That experience I go through. So they will be telling, do this, do that, don't do this, don't do that. Hare Ram, 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 Ram. So one Amma asked me this question. Swamiji, why don't you stop running around? I came from Australia, only one night in Mumbai. Next day, I had to go to England. Why are you running so much? There is nothing that you have after you. Why are you running? I said, Mama, thank you so much for your concern. Now I will not go. From now onwards, I will stay in your house for good. No, 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 I don't mean that. See, we get so lost in this world. We have to practice the knowledge. So, what is the practice of knowledge? Now, where are you in satsang? When are you during the satsang? So, what you should be now? Only satsangi, is it not? But if I give example of husband and wife, and unfortunately both of them are here, and if I glorify the wife in my example, the husband is also there. The wife will look, what's this? Are Dumbo, I am not talking to you as a person. It is a principle we have to learn. At this moment, you are neither mother, father, brother, wife, husband. You are only satsangi. Now apply this principle. You have understood Vedanta. See, this is the message of whole Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna's problem was not that he didn't know how to fight the war. That was his profession. That was not the problem. Problem was he forgot for a moment who is he at a given period of time in a place. So he was on the battlefield at the time of the war. Then who should he have been? Only a warrior, a soldier. But instead of that, he became somebody's disciple. He became somebody's grandfather. He became somebody's brother. And all the problems came in life. So all that is said in Bhagavad Gita, none of that was ever practiced by Arjuna. He was on the battlefield, friends. Where he has the time to sit and do meditation? When they are shooting arrows, you can, excuse me, this is our tea break, not now. No. You have to be ready 100% all the time. Then only we are leading the spiritual life. Now see what happens. Is it a choice for us to live yesterday or to live today? No choice. We have to live now. We cannot live yesterday. We cannot live tomorrow. We have to live now. So is it easier to live now or it is easier to live tomorrow? See? But what we do? Either we are living in the past or we are living in the future. Now, what is living in the past? All the time talking about our past. See? When we were children, all oldies have this problem. They don't understand one basic thing. Nobody is interested in our past. They are concerned about their future. Now I am old. Now what is the future for me? No future. So what do I have? Only past. So what will I do? I'll go on pumping my past on you. When we were children, who cares? See. And then we feel these the children, they don't respect elders. Tell me, we are all grown up. What is our contribution that we are grown up? What we have done? It is poor earth running around the sun. And our age is growing. See? But that becomes a matter of achievement. Children don't listen to us. See, friends. Therefore, Vedanta practice is start living in the present. It's not difficult. Now, how to start that? How to practice it? Do not talk about your past and do not ask anybody about their past. Now, this principle, if you have really observed your own life, you'll come to know. Whenever we talk to others, we either talk about our past or we talk about their past. The net result is we refuse to remain in the present. See? Now you are in front of me, present. Now, should I respect you or those who are yet to come? No, no, no. Some more people are coming. Let us wait. That means you are present, I am insulting you. See, in the same manner, the present we insult by going in the past. How simple it is. And then we also go in the future. And what is the future? Future is an attempt to solve the non-existing problems, is worrying. I don't know what is going to happen. If you don't know, then enjoy. If you know, then be prepared. Where is the place for worries? But friends, a stage comes in life, we imagine, I have been very religious, I was going to the temple, I did this thing, I had given this much charity, but see, this is happening, my son, my daughter-in-law, my great-granddaughter is not wanting to get married. Are you are ready to die. But we don't want, you must have seen, when you get the eczema, you meet anybody who gets eczema, and he is unable to hold it, and then scratch it. That time he doesn't suffer, he enjoys. He doesn't suffer. Others suffer. Hey, come on, stop it. It is bleeding. Oh, bleeding. Exactly the same way. We are so much worried and buried in this habit of worrying. I don't know what will happen. If you don't know, you relax. We have to learn to withdraw before anybody has to tell, will you please shut up? See, my friends, I'll tell you one of my experience in USA, Washington, D.C. There used to be one girl who was in class 7, 6. Since then, she was very close to me. Any examination she has to go, she'll call me, Swamiji, today is my paper. I said, okay, all the best. And like that, she did so well throughout her life. Became a very successful software engineer, got married, shifted to USA, and I happened to be in Washington, D.C. So one day, suddenly she called me and she said, Swamiji, I want to talk to you, but I don't know how to come and talk to you. Where are you? I said, I am in Washington, D.C., Virginia. Really? I am also here. I'll come the moment office is over. She came, the place where I was staying, she came like a monkey baby hugging to the mother. She came and hugged and started crying non-stop. All my clothes were spoiled. Therefore, I don't allow anybody to come near. See? You have to get them clean otherwise. Then, after that, I said, yes, what is the problem now? Enough of crying. I don't like crying. He says, Swamiji, I am carrying. I said, yes, I can see that. I invited my mother to help me. That was her second baby. Today, before going to office, I told her, Mama, you go back to India. I don't want you. And then I left from my office. So she is crying at home. I was crying in office. No, I am crying in front of you. I said, remove all that and relax. Let's go for a nice tea, coffee somewhere. He said, do you know why did I say like that? I said, I don't know. I don't want to know. What is there? It is not a Ramayana or Mahabharata. I should know. Then she told, the day she came, now 3 months, only one topic from morning till I go to office. After I come back from office, again the same topic. What is the topic? How my brother's wife, that is her daughter-in-law, how she is bad. Every day the same thing, same thing. I got so fed up. Should I go and kill her or what? Are you here to help me or to torture me? And then she again burst out. That day I discovered this principle I am telling you. When the youngsters have to say like this to the elders, they are not happy. They are extremely miserable inside. How come you don't understand, mom? See, therefore, what is the mantra? Wherever you are, whenever you are, whatever you are, be 100%. There is Vanaprasthashram in our script in religion. Vanaprasthashram is what? You are ready to go to forest. So when you go to forest, you have to learn to be independent. Constantly demanding attention, demanding attention. See, focus your attention on your spiritual practice. Another good example, there is a Gujarati friend of mine, elderly person, very nice. Maybe about 10 years before or so, he asked me this question, Swamiji, tell me some spiritual practice. You always talk about spirituality. Tell me something. So I told him, okay, uh, do Ramcharit Manas Parayanam. It will take 7 days, 9 days, do according. How many times? So I don't know what mood I was. I said, you have to do 108 Parayanas. Idea is to keep him away. Otherwise, he'll hit my head. And to my surprise, he accepted it. And he is a very successful businessman. He is an industrialist, a pharmaceutical company. About dozen places he has got his operations going on. And yet he has all the time in life. He is never short of time. So he made a group of about a dozen people like-minded. And he went to many holy places like Ashtavinayak around Bombay, then Dwadashi Jyotirlingas, then holy places, all the places. He will go with a group because he had that facility available and go there and stay there for about 1 week and nicely do the parade with all things available, observe everything. One, two, three, 108th was done in Dwarka. That time I was in Ahmedabad. He says, Swamiji, you told me this is my 108th. You began me on the first. Now you have to come and conclude on 108th. I said, yes, I will come. See? So relax. Never under any tension. Then I asked him, you did it, congratulations, but what did you get? He said, Swamiji, now I understand what you talk. Practice of knowledge is what? Practice of knowledge, Vedanta is our vision undergoes change. Today we are looking at the world with yellow glasses and declare the world is suffering from jaundice. See, last night when we were going by train, there was a couple from New Zealand. They happened to talk to me. So they said, Swamiji, we don't know anything. Please tell us this, that. I said, look here, when a boy goes to medical college, before that he looks at the people as human beings. Then he goes to the medical college and does some specialization. Then his vision undergoes change. Now for him, everybody is a patient. Vision has changed. He said, how? Then I told him, once I came, very long flight, south coast, west coast to east coast. And after that, uh, morning 7:30 I reach, and 10 o'clock or so, my retreat has to start. So I went home, finished my bath, had tea, coffee, and I came for the retreat. All the people were there. First talk over. And then it was in the open, very nice place. And I was standing, like this, Vitthal Rukumai, Pandharpur, like this hand, I was standing. Because whole night you couldn't sleep in the flight. So I was standing like this. Aha! One unknown lady came to me. Swamiji, I said, excuse me, are you a nephrologist? She nearly jumped out of her skin. You don't know me. How can you pinpoint I'm a nephrologist? I said, you are or not, tell me. Yes, I am. I said, so my readings are correct. How come? You have come to ask me whether I have got a kidney stone. Because when you have got a kidney problem, you feel relieved when you press your backside. Because as standing, you cannot think of Panduranga. You can think only of kidney stone. Your vision has changed. See, you go to an oncologist. You simply tell him, I had some, pull over here. No, there may be some cancer. They cannot go beyond cancer. See, friends, when you listen to satsanga, when you study, your vision undergoes change. And what is that change? Whenever we are disturbed and miserable, you don't ask question to others. You ask to yourself, who is miserable? Then you come to know that there is somebody who is disturbed. And is that body a real or a virtual one? See, man is the actual reality. Husband is a virtual reality. And this virtual reality is miserable. How can you help the reflection in the water to improve? You cannot do anything. The way to get out of illusion is only to know it is an illusion. That's it. See how simple it is. One example I had given somewhere. We stand in front of the mirror and we see our reflection. And then we take different angles, this way, this way, how beautiful, handsome we are. Then a bird also goes and sits in front of the same mirror. He also looks into the mirror and start pecking, hitting. Who is that? Where from he has come? Goes behind the mirror. Oh, he's run away. Let me see again. Again comes. Oh, still there. Then he start doing sadhana. First, give something in charity. After having given that, oh, still there. I think this sadhana is not enough. Then I must do yoga. There was one book I read. You will not trust me, but I am telling you the truth. I don't tell always the bluff. Sometimes I tell the truth also. The name of the book was Doga. Yoga for dogs. And such beautiful sketches in that. The first sketch was Surya Namaskar. You must have seen those who have a dog. When they get up in the morning, oh, Surya Namaskar, Om Mitraya Namaha. So the bird also read that book. And then to remove the reflection, the enemy, the otherness, the competitor from the mirror, now the bird started doing yoga asanas. That also didn't help. Then he started doing the pranayam. See? And these yoga people, they have this funny notion. Everything can be cured by yoga. There was a mother, her son was all the time eating nails. So she heard everything can be cured by yoga. So she sent the child for the Ramdev Baba's classes, did yoga. And after the course was over, he came back. And then he started eating the toenails also. Yoga. This is what our understanding about spiritual life is. See? And then yoga doesn't help, pranayam doesn't help. Then let me go to the temple. See, go to this temple, go to that temple, and fight with the Panditji. See, you people are greedy. We go there to do charity. What for we are? We are also equally greedy. There are two places where beggars are: those who are outside, those who are inside. See? And then we, हमने भगवान का इतना किया, क्या मिला? किसको? Who wants you? If you are practicing your spiritual life, it is your need. God doesn't need you. Remember this principle, my friends. If you really practicing Vedanta, remember this. Nobody needs us. But ahankar vimudhatma kartahamiti manyate. But we have this wrong notion. Because of me, the world is moving. We all know our parents. Some of us know grandparents. Very few may know great grandparents. Before 3, 4, 5 generations, has a single thought come in our mind about them? No, unwanted. Same is going to be your and my story. Now these pictures are there. This picture. If this picture we see from a proper distance, it will look beautiful. Oh, it is my house, I'll go and see. And I keep the distance between the picture and my eyes maybe 3 inches. Will I be able to see the beauty of that picture? Or if I go 2 miles away and from there I look at that picture, will I be able to see the beauty of that picture? To see the beauty of the picture, what is required? You must have a proper distance. If you want to see the beauty of this world, keep a proper distance. Don't go too close, attachment. Don't go far away, hatred. See? This is Vedanta. In action, in life. But we get so much involved. One more example. All these examples you people only give me. Therefore, you are all my gurus. I have learned from you. This happened in Pune. And Pune people, they think they are very wise. They think. When I was having my talks, one lady told me, Swamiji, you have to come to our house for at least a cup of tea before you go for a lecture. All your things are booked. I said, okay, I'll come. So 6 o'clock lecture, I went to her house at about 5:15 also, 10 minutes, then I go for my talk. So when I went there, now grandmothers means what? They will go on glorifying their useless grandchildren. Do you know why? This is another thing. All the mothers, they complain about their mother-in-laws and father-in-law only on this count. Swamiji, when I tell my son, don't eat chocolate, you know what my father-in-law does? He winks at him, don't worry. And then he gives him chocolate. So when I am telling him, don't eat chocolate, he's, no, what should I do? Why they are doing like this thing? I said, they are taking revenge. All the grandparents are taking revenge on their own children. You can see always, बेटा जब तुम थे छोटे ऐसा ही करते थे ना. Useless fellows. So this grandmother, she says, Swamiji is my granddaughter. I say, very good. Then she chants Bhagavad Gita very well. Should she chant? No, I had no choice. And then she said, Swamiji, may I get my friend? I said, yes, get, no problem. So she went next door, got her friend. We'll two together chant. I said, okay. They chanted 15 chapter of Gita perfectly well by the friend, not by this girl. She did not do like the children do, nothing like that. Very comfortable, cool, eyes closed and put together, steady, not moving even an inch. Complete chapter she chanted perfectly well. And this girl, she was all the time disturbed, looking at her like that. So after it was all over, naturally, I went and hugged that her friend. I said, "Hey dear, you are really genius." When I did like this thing, grandmother Uvacha, she pulled that child from my lap. Go home, go home. They are calling you. Go. Physically, that child was thrown out. See, no, I had to survive. Then after she has gone, then I saw that grandmother has come. Then I took this useless girl. And I said, hey dear, you are so sweet. You are perfection, so perfect. Not a single mistake you made. You are so good. You are so sweet. I love you. When I said like this, I got a cup of tea. Now see, for me, both are children. Nobody is good, nobody is bad. Children are children. But for the mother-in-law, my daughter-in-law, and neighbor's daughter, samsara begins. Now tell me what Vedanta you want to study. I can make the Vedanta so complicated that you will take a vow that in next 100 lives I will never read Vedanta. But that is not. This is what happens most of the places. We only talk Vedanta. We don't live. See? Therefore, why this is happening? Because we are attached. Attachment. Now, one step further. You must have heard this from many people, many places. Attachment is bad. You should not have attachment. Are Baba, can you stop your reflection happening in the mirror? You cannot stop. It will be there. But then what is our understanding? And what is the understanding of the bird? The bird takes the reflection to be real and suffers. We look at the reflection and we celebrate. In the same manner, you cannot stop body identification. You cannot stop. Now I am talking to you only through body identification. You are, I don't know, you are looking at me. I can't say you are hearing me or listening me. That is your personal. Only through the body identification. Then how to solve this riddle? There will be reflection, there will be body identification. Then apply the same principle. So we look at the reflection, but we don't take it as real. It is appearance. In the same manner, we are identified with the body. Is not the problem. I am body is not the problem. The problem is this body I am and that body I am not. This is my grandchild. That is not my grandchild. Samsara begins. Thoughts cannot erupt without reference point. Suppose I tell you, think. Your next question will be, think about what? No, think. About what? I don't know, you think. You require a reference. When you have no reference, you don't think. Like when we are snoring away, deep sleep. That time we are not identified with one body. Therefore, the mind has no reference. When there is no reference, no thoughts. When no thoughts, no samsara. When no samsara, no miseries. When no miseries, all happiness. And that is the reason why in deep sleep people snore. That poor husband who dares not look at the eyes of his wife, where from he get the courage to snore loudly although she is sleeping next to him? Where from he get the courage? Because I am no more a husband. And that happiness is celebrated through noise. And that noise is called as snoring. See? But the moment he is identified with his body and with his wife, immediately somebody is born. Somebody is husband. You know the meaning of husband? It's a Hindi word, it's not English word. Husband means the one whose hussy is band forever. Now you can laugh here. There at go, दिखाएंगे वहाँ. See, friends, when you thus start understanding the working of the mind can function, can think with reference to something. Now this bird's example. Why the bird become agitated? Because it has a reference of the reflection. Why we become miserable or disturbed? Because we have the reference of the body. And after body identification, a generation is born. See? In Panchadashi, this thought comes. It's very simple. One is called as Mukhyatma, the essential self. Second is called as the Mithyatma, the illusory self. Third is called as the Gaunatma, the secondary self. Three of them. Now see. Essential self, Mukhyatma, is only one. See. Then illusory self is appearing under n number of conditions. And the secondary self is only a fraction of the illusory self. Now these three things, I'll give you some example to make it easy. Man is the Mukhyatma, the essential self. Man is essential self. Then husband becomes the Mithyatma, illusory self. What is illusion? Illusion appears but doesn't exist. Can you separate out the man from the husband? See? Once some European person asked me this question. You guys, you ladies have their .com on their forehead. What is that? I say that is a sign of your chance has gone. She is already hooked. Meaning that she is married now. Oh. After looking at this also, I asked one, I got very funny problems in my life. So I asked one Amma, I said, Amma, I have seen these ammas putting different dots here, and the sizes are different. What is the criteria of the size of the dot? Swamiji, it is directly proportionate to the amount of love for the husband. Bigger the dot com, more love. Lesser the dot com, less love. Insignificant dot com, insignificant love. No dot com, fill in the gaps. Then he asked me, okay, so ladies are married, therefore they have got this sign. But what about the gents? They don't have any sign. I said, not required. From the face you can know he's married. You don't require any special sign. See? So, man is essential self. Husband is illusory self. You understand this principle. Once you understand the principles, you will come to know all the problems are dissolved. Problems cannot be solved. They have to be dissolved. See? One more example. One girl came in Mumbai to me, and evening time I finished my talk and I was having a cup of tea. She said, Swamiji, um, I don't know, I'm very angry. I said, you get out, don't disturb me. I'm having my tea. Tea is my meditation. Mummy told me to go and ask you. So I kept quiet. You know, I am divorced. I said, I am not available for you. Next. No, Swamiji, the question is, there was some function in our house. She was staying with her mother. And in that function, according to their tradition, only the married girls or ladies can attend the function. So she was divorced, so she is not married. So the question she asked me, after divorce, the girl becomes a widow or not? This is the question. So I said, I have studied all the four Vedas. Nowhere this problem is discussed. See, divorce, talaq is not in our culture, is not in our religion. Therefore, there is no mantra. There is a mantra for marriage. There is no mantra for divorce. Now the question is, when a girl gets divorced, what happened to the wife that she was? Where the wife has gone? See. Another example. This happened in probably Germany. After my 2 days retreat, there was one German lady. She said, Swamiji, uh, you should have come in my life 25 years before. I said, even then I would not have married you. He said, not for that. Then for what? I would not have divorced 3 times. Now I realize how silly were the reasons I divorced. Now I realize my mistake. I said, the fourth time, you don't do it, okay? I said, no, you ask me a question. No, I want to ask you a question. Now be attentive. I said, you got married for the first time, W1, wife 1. Your husband was husband 1. So your couple was W1H1. Yes. Separated. Then again you got married, W2H2. Third time, W3H3. Now my question is W1 equal to W2 equal to W3 equal to what? Is the first wife married to the second husband? Is the second wife the summation of the first 2 wives? Is the third wife is W1 plus W1, 2 plus W3? Where is happening all this? Nowhere. And this is all making samsara. Because our inquiry is wrong. See, instead of complaining. Therefore, many people they keep on. I just shut up, yeah. Don't disturb me. You people get married and trouble me. Who asked you when you get married? Did you ask me, Swamiji? I want to get married. I would never have allowed you to get married. See, you don't know what challenges we face. One grandmother. Grandmothers have no business except troubling everybody. See, she came, Swamiji, please tell my grandson he doesn't want to get married. And my granddaughter, she got married 2 times. Now, what should I do? You please tell my grandson to get married. I said, if I had to tell him, I'd tell him, don't get married. See, you mind your business. Don't get involved in anybody's life. Then you will not complain. Our question was, mantra was, living at zero complaint level. We have destroyed our life. Let them destroy their life. No, we want to help them. Friends, if you look within sincerely, what is that which makes us indispensable in this world? Nothing. When we were not in this world, there was nothing lacking. When we will leave this world, there will be nothing lacking. If you don't trust, try. See? So our earlier absence and later absence makes no difference. So our presence is making what difference? But we feel, oh, I am disturbed. Who is disturbed? This illusory self, Mithyatma. So the man is Mukhyatma, the illusory self is husband, the illusory self is the son, the illusory self is the father. See? So man is one, he has become three. The same man is a son, husband, and father. And who are miserable? These three illusory selves. Now, how can you help to improve the reflection in the waters? If the water is muddy, reflection is not bright, the water is shaky, the reflection is also shaky, will you like to fish it out and clean that reflection? Then what should be done? Play your role. That's it. If you are in front of your father, fathers are normally elder. See? So if you are in front of your father, don't argue, particularly with the old people. Don't argue. Anything they say yes. They forget about yes about what. And you do what you like. Don't argue with them. If you are in front of your youngsters, children, anything they say, yes, done, I never do it. After a few times, they will understand. He is only talking Tom, he doesn't do anything. See. But the main thing you are not telling, what about the wife? That is the simplest one. When she is talking, you should keep quiet. When she is quiet, you should not talk. Peace will prevail. Life is only a big drama. We are in Karnataka, isn't it? Karnataka. So while we are doing Natak, in the earlier days, the ladies were never coming on the stage to act as a woman, a character. Gents were dressing like the woman and acting. See, there used to be a great actor, Bal Gandharva. He was very much known for his acting skills as a woman. So when that man is acting as a woman, that time also he knew that I am a man. In the same manner, we all have to play our role. Play the role of a son, a husband, a father, the father-in-law, the mother, whatever role you play. But don't forget, you are first a man and a woman. Play your role sincerely, best. But don't get entangled all the time. Therefore, Vedanta tells us, don't complain. Why miseries are coming to me? Wrong question. Question is, who is miserable? See? Then he will come to know. One man came to me. He said, Swamiji, don't quote my example anywhere because you quote example. I said, I will quote but not tell your name. Then he said, Swamiji, you know, I am married. I said, yes, I can see on your face. I am so fed up. My wife is so terrible. I said, then divorce, leave her. You'll get another one. No, I can't leave her. Why? She earns. So I can't leave her. Then what should I do? I am miserable because of her. I said, you have come to me. I have got only one solution to all the problems. Correct your thinking process. See? There are HIV or corona is a biological virus, isn't it? Computer viruses are logical virus. Logical fallacy is introduced in your software. It's a logical virus. Ego, you and me, is an illogical virus. Now, what is the logic in that? Because you are husband, wife, mother, father. What is great about it? Any fool getting married to another fool becomes a husband. Is it a qualification? Then I told him, that man, I said, look here, you are miserable as a husband. So, is it something new? But how to get out of it? I said, think. What to think? Tell me. Husband is a common noun or a proper noun? It's a common noun. That means every husband is miserable. You are one of them. So what? See, none of us have got a tail. Is it a problem? If one has tail, then it's a problem. See, friends, change your approach to the problems of life in the light of wisdom. And what is that change? Look at the world from the absolute standpoint and not from the relative standpoint. Who is she? She is my relative. Then what do you expect of her? I expect from her, I expect absolute happiness from a relative. Is it possible? From the relative, you will get only relative happiness, not absolute. See, friends, like man is absolute, the son, the husband, and father, they are relative. Relatives are always miserable, absolute man is never miserable. See, the only way all the problems of our life are dissolved by one word. That word is either you say Rama Leela or Krishna Leela. In Leela, everything appears to be happening, but nothing is happening. Ours is now the Satsanga Leela. It appears as if you are listening. But after going home, again, वही तमाकू वही चूना रगड़ो और खाओ. In Mumbai, Warsaw, after my first day talk was over, I came down from the stage. And one old round figure, Sindhi Amma, came. He says, Swamiji, you are so great. Whatever you spoke today, 100% applicable for my daughter-in-law. Please come to my house and tell her. I said, hey Maharani, you came, you listen, but you don't want to apply it on you. And you want me to tell her who doesn't want to listen. See, you change. Our problem is like driving in our beautiful city, Bengaluru. See, you have the driving license, not the people walking on the road. If you have a driving license, does it mean that the traffic will be properly organized? No. You have to be organized. If you are studying Vedanta, if you are walking the spiritual path, change should come in us, not in others. But this is what exactly happens. See, I tell everybody, but nobody listens. Have you heard to yourself? See, we want others to listen to, but we don't listen to ourselves. One day we were going somewhere and we were getting late. So my friend, I told him, I said, hey Mahatma ji, let's go fast, we are getting late. Swami, don't call me Mahatma ji, where I am a Mahatma? I said, you fool, come quickly. The moment I said, you fool, come quickly, he was not angry, but he was surprised. How come Swamiji also knows that people call me fool? See, friends, we have to decide thus far and not further. This is the real meaning of yoga, not twisting the body. If you want to follow yoga, follow Bhagavan Sri Krishna's yoga. Tam vidyat dukkha sanyoga, viyogam, yoga sanjitam, sa nishchena yoktavyaha, yogaha anirvidna chetasa. See? Arrival of the miseries in our life doesn't make us miserable. This ability to refuse to be miserable is yoga, according to Bhagavan Sri Krishna. Then you will be practicing yoga 24/7 because all the time problems will come to you. But you are doing yoga. So let the miseries come, but you refuse to be miserable. And what is the practice? So nishchena yoktavya. Make a firm resolution from this moment onwards. Refuse to be miserable. You have started practicing Vedanta in life. How simple it is. And it will change everything around you. There was a man, he was telling me, Swamiji, I want guidance from you. You know, I drink. I said, yes. Then so many people come and drink also. My wife gets fed up. What should I do? I said, you give her also one glass. Everybody becomes spiritual, liquid spirituality. No, 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 please tell me how to stop it. I said, if you really want, I'll tell you. What is that? You stop drinking. Let them drink because they are your business people. You have to cut their throat and earn. So continue. But you stop. Then I will not drink. Tell some lies that the doctor has seen the liver and this thing, that thing. They said, if you take further, you will die. And then I don't want to miss you, such lovely spiritual friends. So excuse me, I will not drink. You can drink. He said, okay. And he tried sincerely. After a few days, one by one started dropping. They say, yaar, you don't drink and we only keep on drinking. Maja nahi aata. Slowly, slowly, everybody disappeared. You change. Vedanta tells, discover you are divine. And the expression of divinity is only one. You are happy. Bhagwan has not created this world out of frustration. Yaar, bore, chalo, bana de. It is not making rasam out of sambar. You know how that is made? They add a lot of hot water in the sambar. I say, rasam, garam garam aapke liye. See? No. You change, everything around you changes, and the ultimate in life is this Nirankusha Tripti. You are happy for no reason. We are surprised when somebody is happy. अरे गुप्ता जी क्या बात है, आज बड़े खुश नजर आ रहे. That means he is miserable. We don't ask question. He is surprised. You are happy today. See, let us be unreasonably happy. The God is expressing through us. Don't seek Him. Allow Him to express through us. This is Vedanta. Give it a try and be happy. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.